In this video, we're going to be taking a look at a pretty common project that a lot of us want to do when we get our 3D printer, and that is to add a logo to an existing 3D model. Now, I've downloaded this little coffee dispenser tray from MakerWorld, and I will put a link in the description below if you want this exact model. And the question was, how could they go about adding the Ninja appliance logo to the side of the tray here? Now, this model came with the Keurig logo, and I have removed that logo. So now we just kind of have this flat surface that we can apply our Ninja logo to. And something that I see quite a bit in the 3D forums, they talk about the necessity to go into some type of 3D modeling software to accomplish this task. And really, that is not necessary because we can do this very easily directly in our slicer. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into Inkscape. Now, if you don't know anything about Inkscape, Inkscape is a graphics program. It's totally free, always has been, and it is quite robust. When it comes to a graphics application, there's so many things that we can do about it. And one of the great things about Inkscape, not only is it free, but there's such a huge user base. So literally anything that we want to learn about Inkscape, there is a video demonstration, many video demonstrations on that topic. So learning Inkscape is pretty straightforward. And once you understand a few of the basics, it's not a complicated program really to learn. It's actually quite straightforward. So what we're going to do is firstly, we're going to import the Ninja logo. And all I did was I just came out here to the web here and I typed in, so this is the tray, but if I type in Ninja appliance logo, okay, so we'll just go there, and you can see we have many options where we can download the Ninja logo. Okay, so you can see here, so this is just a PNG file, this particular one. But so back over here in Inkscape, let's go ahead and import the file that we saved. So file import, and there is our Ninja logo. In this case, it's a JPEG file. Now, when I look at the logo, I do see something that is concerning to me, and that is these little guys here, these little lines. Okay, now we're talking about shrinking this down to fit on our tray, and in doing so, these lines become problematic because they become very, very, very tiny. So that may ultimately become a problem for us when we go to 3D print. So with all that said, let's go ahead and right click on this. Now this is a JPEG, so we need to convert it into a vector format. And you can see here we're on single scan, so all I did was right click, choose trace bitmap, and that pulls up this dialog box here to the right. And you can see that we're in single scan mode, brightness cutoff, and if we adjust our threshold here, you can see the thickness of our line. As I go to the right, you'll see that line thickness increase ever so slightly as I go to the right here. And once I'm happy with that, I could go ahead and hit apply. And we now have a vectorized version of our Ninja logo. And it does pretty good. If we go into the view display mode, outline mode here, you could see the actual vector lines that were generated for us a little bit more cleanly. And you can see it did a reasonably good job, although here on the register trademark, not so much. So we just double click on it and delete that because I don't think we really need that necessarily anyhow. Okay, so there is our Ninja logo. All right, so now we could just go ahead and delete our JPEG version, and this becomes our Ninja logo. So what we're going to do is we're going to export this as a SVG file. So if I hit File and Export, brings up this dialog box here to the right, and you can see here instead of Inkscape SVG, we'll choose plain SVG. And then we'll go to the desktop here. So we'll click that little icon. And you can see we've actually already saved it. We'll go ahead and override it. Yes, why not? And so now we've saved this Ninja logo as an SVG file. And that's all we need is an SVG file. So now we can go back in here to Bambu Studio and we can import our SVG. So you can see here that we have our tray. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the tray and I'm going to right click and choose to add a part. And we have many options here, but we're going to choose the SVG option. And now it allows us to select what SVG we want to add, and we're going to add the Ninja SVG. And there you go. So there is our SVG. Now, as I spin around here, you can kind of see that our tray has now been elevated, and our Ninja logo is now on the tray. So what we want to do is we do want to choose the Use Surface option. Boom. And that will kind of put our Ninja SVG. We'll just go ahead and what's happened here is it's now kind of chopped off part of our logo. So what we're going to do here is let's go ahead and scale it down. Let's start there. So we're going to scale it down so it will fit on the front here. And then let's go to the very front. I think that will make it a little bit easier. And let's go ahead and change the color of our Ninja logo as well, because I think ultimately that will look better too. And let's go ahead and scale this down just a little bit more. So we'll scale it down a little bit further here. I think that looks good. Okay. And now what we're going to do is let's go ahead and we'll select this and let's choose to edit the SVG. And notice here it says use surface. So we're going to go back in, and as we move it around, you see how it kind of like clicks and it kind of reshifts a little bit. So we're going to lower the size a little bit more. And then as we move it, yeah, you'll see it kind of like reset itself, so to speak, I guess. And so maybe just a little bit more. A little bit more here. And now as we look at this, let me show you here. Now our tray is back on the bed like it's supposed to be. Let's go ahead and click on the very front. So we're looking at it dead on here. And we could see this a little bit better. We could move this so it's more centered on our tray. And then we can go ahead and scale it up a little bit so it still fits on the surface, on the face of it. Let's just go ahead and move it up ever so slightly, I think. So we'll click that little yellow ever so slightly. Let's go back to our very front view there. And yeah, I think that looks pretty good. So we'll leave it at that. Now the depth of this is currently 3.4, and I think let's change that to maybe 0.6 or 0.8, something like that. Really whatever thickness you want. But let's go ahead and spin it around here. And so you can kind of see how this is going to protrude from our black. So the Ninja logo is sitting right on this black face. And I guess I did not consider the left to right spacing. So that looks pretty good actually. So I think I'm happy with that. So there you go. That is what we're after. So we got rid of Keurig and we just added in the Ninja logo. Now, the one key component here is I want to look at is for the nozzle size. We're going to go back to 0.4. And let's go ahead and slice it and see what kind of results that we get. So you can see here, it says it seems has floating cantilever. Please orient the object, or enable supports. Okay, so I understand what it's saying there. It's saying that our lettering uh, could use supports. I believe that's what it's getting at there. We'll take a look at that momentarily. But the main thing I wanted to show you here is what I thought was going to be a problem is in fact a problem, and that's those real thin outlines, right? Because we're using a 0.4 nozzle. And that's just a very small detail to be able to fit in here. So we're going to have to use our 0.2 nozzle for this to look right. Now, having printed a lot of this stuff, I don't really think that we would need supports necessarily for this text. Um, we might need supports, um, but you could see there that it actually said that um, the slice was okay. So it's not detecting that supports were needed in this particular example. But you'll notice that it says that uh, the model printing time is 17 and a half hours. And that's because we're using that finer nozzle. Um, and I don't think there's a way really around that. It's showing a layer height of 0.1. But notice that those details of that really thin line is now visible. Okay, so that's the good part. Um, so I don't know if you see here we have some different presets for the 0.2 nozzle. So what if we did, let's go ahead and choose extra draft, and we'll reslice our plate. So we're using a thicker layer height, but not by a lot. Notice now that we do get the, that we need supports again. Not a whole lot of save time in regards to the printing time on this. It's still showing 15 hours. So for the minimal difference, I think I would probably just go back to the high quality 0.1. We'll regenerate that slice and see if it says we're good to go on the slice. But again, I don't think we have any choice but to use that 0.2 nozzle because of those outlines being as fine as they are. Now you can see it's not saying that we need supports when we're using that. We are, our preview here is obviously showing we can go ahead and turn off seams. So that will give us a better representation of what those outlines are going to look like. So you can see those outlines are now visible. And of course, we could adjust the depth of this is currently at 0.8. So I believe that's what we did. So we could lower that if we didn't go back over here to objects here, and we could lower that depth. So if we want it to be, let's go ahead. So it's saying that depth is 1.6 millimeters. I thought it was only, so we could do much thinner, 0.6, something like that. So it's just barely sticking out just a little bit. And then we can reslice this plate. So you can see adding a logo is actually quite straightforward. All we need to do to be able to generate that is to have an SVG that we can then import. And then, of course, we'll import that SVG and make sure we use the Use Surface option, and that will place that SVG on whatever surface of your model that you want that SVG to appear. And that's really all there is to it. So there you go. So that will get our logo on the front. Now, probably what I would do, probably what makes the most sense, I don't know. Um, in reality, one thing that we could do is go ahead and print our tray itself. Um, and then uh, when we go to do the logo, do that on a separate plate and then glue the logo to the tray. But to do that, in order to print the Ninja on a separate plate, what we would have to do is have a tiny little tab for the outlines so that the outlines are connected in some way to our letter. Again, it could be very tiny, but a couple little tabs to hold our outlines in place with our letter. But in the end, that's basically how you go about adding a logo to an existing model. So you can see it is a pretty straightforward process. I hope that helps. Thanks for watching.